Beautiful. She's connected. Yes. So welcome guys to another episode of Latino World Travelers virtual travel parties. Today with us, we have a special guest. We have mi tocaya, Vanessa, the coding traveler, and she's going to be introducing us to cruising through the West Indies. Have you ever been cruising? Tell us your experience in the comments too. We want to know where you have been, what you have done, and please, any questions you may have, make sure you ask them either through the chat or in the question mark in the Instagram live. So more than welcome. Thank you so much, Vanessa, for being here. And let's take it from here.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. My name is also Vanessa. I'm from the state of Pennsylvania, and I am thankful and honored to be here. I will try to provide as much information as I can. Feel free to stop me if I'm talking way too fast or if you have any questions. You know, we're here to have some fun and learn new things as well. So, like Vanessa said, we're going to be talking about cruising to the West Indies. That was my experience that I had for the year of 2018 between the last, I believe it was the last week of October, ended in November 4th. And we were able to go from Puerto Rico to St. Kitts, and then Aruba, Curacao, and San Martin. Those are the islands that we visited.
And where in Puerto Rico did you live from?
I grew up in Arecibo, but since I'm living now in Pennsylvania, what I had to do is I had to take a flight from Philadelphia to Puerto Rico, and I took it at least 2 days. It doesn't have to be 2 days, but I did it 2 days just because I wanted to see my family for a bit before going to cruising. And I did went with some of the members of my family, and they start taking people in at 8 a.m. in the port of San Juan, Puerto Rico. And you have until, I think, they depart at 8 p.m. So, but I believe that they changed the regulations where now it used to be that you have the latest that you can check in. It was 1 hour before they start selling, but now they're requesting that you check in virtually 3 days. But if in case for X or Y reason you still can check in person, but at least the latest 2 hours prior they start selling, because at least the boat that I went, it was over 3,000 people. So the lines are long and you have to check in your luggage. They check all luggages. They check your, passports and all the identification. So you have to make sure that you give yourself enough time to reach there at the port and check in and, provide your luggage and everything.
So if check-in is at 8, at what time do you recommend people get there before at the departure of a boat?
Well, it doesn't have to be before 8, because what I arrived there, I believe it was like 8:39ish around that time, and there was already people, like a long line in there, and they were already starting taking people in and stuff. But I believe that you don't have to arrive early unless you want to be like one of the first to go in on the boat. That's up to you, but you don't have to.
I wonder if they're more lenient or not the earlier you arrive, because people always try to sneak in things when they check your luggage.
I'm glad that you said that, because that's one situation I had. I took a steamer with me, and I didn't know that they didn't allow that, because, I wanted to iron my clothes. Yeah. And I was a bit disappointed on that part, because I was like, maybe they provide something in the room because what if you have your clothes wrinkled? You need something to iron your clothes, but they don't allow it, just to prevent fire from occurring, which makes sense. But at the same time, because of that situation, when you arrive at the port, you leave your luggage with someone. You can carry on something with you, like a book bag or something, but if you have a luggage, you leave it with the personnel, and they will take it to your room.
Oh,
And
okay.
I was told that the reason they do that is because they have to check everything. So they similar like in the airports, they have to pass it through those big machines to check that you don't have anything that they don't allow. So once I was able to check in, and they gave us the room number and everything. You can have up to 4 people per room, depends on which room you reserved, because they have like the cheapest one, which usually are in the lower deck, and they have the fancy ones with balcony and ocean view and everything. Those are the fancy ones.
Yeah. Now, which one do you recommend people get? Like, is it the cheaper one, like fine, just because you're gonna be outside all the time? So.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. So because the thing about cruises is that you make it the trip however you want it. You can make it an adventure trip. You can make it like a romantic getaway, or you can make it like a relaxation spa, because they do have spa over there and sauna and everything. So it's up
Just
to
speaking
you.
to my heart right now.
So it's like up to you on what you want to make your trip want it to be. If you want it to be a romantic getaway, that you want to wake up and have like a balcony, because the ones at the top usually has a balcony, so you can hang out on the balcony, sip a little bit of wine, watch the sunset, something like that. So it's up to you, like what do you want to do in your trip on the cruise. But for me, I just took, the most affordable one. It was fine because my trip was mainly more adventurous. I was mostly outside. I only was at the in the cruise at nighttime.
Mhm.
And so yeah, so once I arrived in the room, and I first, settle down and everything, relax, because you are gonna be standing out in those lines for a couple hours, and
Mhm.
depends on the weather. Puerto Rico is a bit hot, so you're gonna sweat.
Wow.
So yeah,
Now,
but
when you say affordable, that you got the most affordable room, how much does it cost and what does it include?
yeah, well, it depends on the cruise, because I went through Royal Caribbean, and it's Freedom of the Sea. And so each cruise line has different prices and different routes.
Mhm.
And also depends on the season. I went through fall. So fall tends to be a little bit cheaper than summer. And prices can be between 450, 600 something dollars per person. And also if you want the room for yourself, then obviously it's going to be more expensive if you have the room share with 4 people.
So if, let's say, a couple goes and it's two people, they could literally place other two random people in your room.
Well, if you reserve a room for 2 person, it has to be just 2 person.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay. I thought
So in,
they would put other people in your room.
no. You reserve it for 2 person. Like my sister and her husband, they got a room for themselves, and then in my room it was me and my cousin. It was a total 4 of us.
Okay.
And so yeah, so I started later on in the same day, because like I mentioned, the boat doesn't start sailing away from the port in Puerto Rico around 8 p.m. So it was starting already, sunset, and I still didn't receive my luggage. So I started to be very
Freak out.
concerned. Yeah. So I went to eat, and then after I finished eating, I came back to the room, and I found a note that they say that for me to go to a specific area. I can't remember where exactly. So when I went there, it was another long line, and I didn't know what was going on, because the note didn't specify what was happening. It
Mhm.
just told me to go to that area to pick up my luggage. So when I asked the personnel, that they asked me, do you have a extension cord? Was it an iron or a steamer or blower? Like he started mentioning all the items that they don't allow. And I told him I had a steamer, and he was like, okay, so they retain your luggage because you're not supposed to have those items on the boat.
Oh.
So
Do
yeah.
they give you the steamer back at the end or you just lose it?
No, they give it to you back. So what they did is they gave me kind of like a sticker or a ballot or something like that. It has my room number because they asked me for my room number, my name, and I think that's pretty much it. They didn't ask me any other information. And that same information, they put it in a sticker, and that sticker, they put it on your item. And they just put it away, and they told me they will give it back when I get out of the boat. So basically, when I return back to Puerto Rico, when you're basically already inside of Puerto Rico port, they have this long table, like tables after tables, with all the items that were confiscated. You give them the little piece of paper, and then they give you your item. That's pretty much it. So I was impressed because there was a lot of people bringing a lot of stuff, extension cords and stuff, and I was like, wow.
Someone,
Yeah.
Lisandra just gave us a travel hack. She said she irons her clothes with the hair flat iron.
Oh yeah, that's what my sister told me, because she brought a flat iron and they didn't confiscate that to her. But that's a good hack though. Yeah.
I wouldn't
But I
even
guess,
try.
yeah, I didn't thought of that. So I was like, okay, well now I know. So yeah, so once if you are coming from outside any other country or United States and you arrive for Puerto Rico, I did find out that you can order your airplane ticket through your cruise line, or you can order it independently. But if you want to transfer, instead of paying yourself for a cab or Uber, you can actually contact the cruise line. They have a department where they will have someone go and pick you up at the airport, and they will bring you into the port. And the same goes for when the cruise finish, they will take you back to your departure.
That is
So
great. Now, was the flight cheaper booking it through them, or was it independently cheaper?
I'm not sure, because I ordered mine independently, not through the cruise line.
Okay.
Yeah. Since I went to see my family, I just went to Puerto Rico. I spent time with my dad, and then he was the one who actually took me and the rest of my family to the port.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me see. The cruise itself, it, like I said, it can hold up to 3,000 people. And I came to find out that that's actually not the biggest one, which I was impressed. I think it's Symphony of the Sea is actually much larger. And when you do buy the ticket for the cruise, I think you mentioned that earlier, that what does it includes? Besides the room, it includes the access to a buffet. They have a large buffet area. It's open since very early in the morning until, I believe, it's 6 or 7 o'clock. So throughout the time, you can go eat as much as you want to eat. They have a lot of variety, and I feel that that because that cruise line starts from Puerto Rico, they had a lot of Puerto Rican food and a lot of Spanish food. And the only thing is, I didn't saw much of a vegetarian. So if anyone is vegetarian, I will probably have to go to, because they do have restaurants where you actually have to pay. But I will have to, for those who are vegetarian will have to probably do that, because the only thing vegetarian I saw was basically salad, so I didn't saw much vegetarian options.
Did you get to eat at one of those restaurants?
There's a pizza shop. What was the name? I think I wrote it down. That one is very open to very late, to like, Sorrentos. Yeah. That you have to go early, because especially at nighttime, because there's people that don't go to sleep at all, I guess. And that pizza shop is the only thing open till very, very late. So there were many times in the evening that my family was like, "Oh, we're hungry, want to eat pizza," because it's the only thing open. So I was like, "Okay, sure." And then we encounter a line. So if you do want to have pizza, I think they have something else, but I'm not really sure. I think it was mainly pizza, and
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like a buffet. They have like cheese, pepperonis, simple, nothing fancy. And then you just tell them, I want cheese, I want pepperoni, and they
Yeah.
will serve it to you.
The food at the buffet itself, the big buffet that's open all day, what kind of food do they have?
Like as I mentioned, they have a lot of Spanish food, like arroz con gandule. They have pernil, they have jamón, chicken. If you want just plain white rice, they have different type of beans. Red, kidney, pink, garbanzos.
Mhm.
Um, they also have burgers, hot dogs. Um, they have a lot of fruit cocktails. They have different desserts from cookies. Um, Cupcakes, pieces of cake, ice cream. They have
So
so many
lots
things.
of
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. They have
But
it.
you
They
can
have a
eat
lot of.
everything in one week
And
because
the
it's so big.
breakfast, for me, the breakfast was amazing. I didn't eat much lunch because I'm not the type of person that eat lunch much.
Mm-hmm.
And for dinner, you do get access to their restaurant. They have a restaurant where one night through the whole week is kind of like a fancy night where you get to dress out.
Mm-hmm.
Dress, the guys dress. A guy gets tuxedos and stuff. So that one is also free. You don't have to pay for that one. So that's why for the buffet, I only went in mainly in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and in the evening, I went to the restaurant.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what kind of activities do they have in the boat for
Oh,
three to be
I
able
had
to
to.
entertain 3,000 people?
Yes, and one of the things is that they're mainly packed most of the time. But yeah, I had to write it down because they have a surfing simulator.
Ah,
My brother-in-law got to try that one out. I didn't try it because I was I was like, I don't want to make a fool of myself falling. Yeah, but they have that. They have ice skating that was pretty nice. They have a
what?
basketball court. They have a tennis court. They have ping pong tables. They have a mini golf section. They have plenty of bars, like plenty
And the
for.
drinks are included as well, or do you have to pay extra
No,
for that?
that one you have to pay extra.
Okay.
Yeah, and they do have live entertainment. I was able to uh, witness a ice skating show that was pretty neat. The evening, I went to a stand-up comedy. They do have live theater as well. Um,
And these things that do you have to sign up for it, or
no,
everybody's welcome to come at any time?
yeah, anytime, and
Okay.
they are free as well. You don't have to pay for those
Oh,
activities.
that's good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want a good seat, you definitely have to go early
Mm-hmm.
because they do get packed.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else they had. Oh, and those live entertainments, it varies. It varies per cruise and it varies per the week that you went because it's not like every week they have the same type of entertainment. Is
No.
everything is different. They always bring someone different. Like as if they're gonna bring a stand-up comedian, they will bring somebody different every week. But yeah, so it's just something to keep in mind. And they do have a lot of shopping store like retails. They do have live auctions. Well, while I was there, they had a live auction for art, and I think another night they had a live auction for jewelry.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, those are the things. Oh, they do have a spa. I did try the spa. Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I went twice because I was planning. Well, when I was planning, I was thinking like I'm gonna travel from Philadelphia to Puerto Rico. I'm already gonna be exhausted,
Mm-hmm.
so I want to start my trip relaxed. So I booked a spa. Those ones you have to book ahead of time,
Mm-hmm.
and you can book it through the cruise line.
Mm-hmm.
And I took that. I went 2 times. The first time was the first day, and the lady, she was marvelous. They treat you very well. obviously you have to take off your clothes, and they give you a robe so you can, cover while they're walking around or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then, she sat me down, and she had put some, I guess, some essential oils in her hand, and she
Oh
made
Lord, I need one of those right now.
she made me like, smell it, because the when you lay down the bed, they have the little holes that where you can, breathe.
Uh-huh.
So she was like, breathe in, and I was breathing, and like just with that, I
Mm.
was already starting to relax. So, and the good thing that I liked about the lady that she attended me is because I've been to other spa here locally, and normally they just, give you a back massage. Okay, you're done. Have a nice day. Like, no, she realized that I had tension in my shoulders, and
Mm.
she was like, explaining to me like what I could do to help me relax the shoulders while,
Oh wow.
yeah. So they attend you very well. They do. And
And the cost of the services are extra as well, right? They're not
yeah.
included.
Yeah,
Okay.
the spa is not free. That one is you have to pay for it.
And the prices in comparison to the States, is it similar or is it more because they know you're in vacation and
Yeah. Um, it depends where you are, because at least I live in Pennsylvania in South Central PA, and here they're range about $75
mm-hmm.
for just a simple, back massage.
Mm-hmm.
And and if, obviously I'm assuming that if you go to the city it's more expensive, but in the cruise, yeah, they are a bit expensive. I can't remember exactly how much I paid, but I definitely was over $100.
Mm-hmm.
Not 200, it was like over 100 something dollars, but I can't remember. And they do try to sell you products that they have there. You don't have to buy if you don't want to, but they make some side money when they sell it to you. So
Yeah.
just to let you know that they're gonna, at the end, they're gonna be like, okay,
All the
we have
products I
some.
used in you. You
Yeah.
really want to buy them.
Especially because, like, for me personally, I work in an office, so I'm always sitting down, so I tend to have a lot of back pain. So she was like trying to offer me this product for alleviating back pain and stuff, and they are quite expensive, so just something to keep in mind.
Yes.
Yeah. So that
Very,
was,
very nice.
yeah, so that was just the first night
Mhm.
in Puerto Rico. So the second day, we went to San Kitts. Originally, it was supposed to be Bonaire where we were supposed to go, but the thing is that I went in 2018, and it was a year after Hurricane Irma and Hurricane Maria. So there
Mhm.
were many countries that were still trying to, reconstruct everything, rebuild.
Mhm.
So Bonaire, they told us that they had to change from Bonaire to St. Kitts because Bonaire, their port wasn't ready yet to receive
Oh,
cruises.
okay.
Yeah, my sister was kind of disappointed because she already visited, and even I already visited St. Kitts before. But we're
Mhm.
like, okay, let's go visit St. Kitts again.
Mhm. So when you get to these cities, what is the process of getting out, doing activities, coming back in? What is it like?
Well, when you book an activity in the island, you want to book it, depends, because some activities, they give you flexible time for you to choose whenever you want to go. But there's some activities they have like, no, our activities start at this specific time, like say 9 a.m. So
Uh-huh.
if your activity, if you have to be there at least 15 minutes prior 9 a.m., so you have to know, keep in mind that you have to wake up early so you can have breakfast, and you have to be ready and nearby the exit area of the cruise, because as soon as the cruise start to open and dispatching people, you have to be like one of the first to be able to get a ride, because some activities do offer a ride. They will pick you up in the port, but some activities don't. You have to manage
Oh,
your own transportation. So that's something to keep in mind.
okay.
I
But
think
you
some.
will know that in advance in order to plan accordingly, I'm assuming.
Yes. When you do book your cruise, I would say quickly, take a look at the activities that you can make reservation through through the cruise line, because there's some activities that you can just walk in and pay it locally, and it's actually a bit cheaper, but you run the chance of either not have enough space because they have a limited of how much people they can take care, and also you run the chance that you have to find out transportation, and you come to know that the activity is actually early in the morning, so you kind of like have to rush into it.
Yes.
So to avoid the stress, is sometimes it's better to reserve to the cruise, even though it's a little bit more
They're gonna
expensive.
bring you back on time, that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Okay.
If somebody asks that what prices include in the spa, it honestly, with what I paid, I know it seems a bit expensive because it's mainly in a cruise, but I had a full body massage. They massaged my scalp, my
Oh,
back, my legs, and she even actually scrubbed my skin. It was amazing. I tell you, I enjoyed it.
Jesus.
Yeah, she was like scrubbing my arms, my legs. I was like, oh,
That
go girl,
sounds
go.
lovely.
Yeah, but other than that, that's about it. Any like I mentioned earlier, they do have products. Those are separate that you can buy if you want to.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we went to St. Kitts, and as I mentioned, I already previously visited St. Kitts before. So one of the things that St. Kitts have, which I loved, is zip lining. I tell you, I'm a very ambitious
Mm.
woman.
I see.
Adventurous woman. I saw zip line, and actually that was my first time zip lining ever. So
Mm.
I was a bit nervous. I was a bit scared, but they have their tour guide. They're amazing. Those guys, they
Mm.
made me laugh, because like they were talking to me and other group that was with me as well. And usually when somebody tell you an instruction, you say yes sir, like that. No, they were like, no,
Uh-huh.
no, you don't say yes sir, you say yeah man. And like he was like, you got to say yeah man, like say it. So like they're really cool guys. One thing that you keep in mind, if you do choose to go zip lining, they do have a restriction. The restriction of ages, I think I wrote it down here. um the youngest is 6 years old, and they have to weigh at least 60 pounds or above. And there is a maximum as well. The maximum limit of pound is 275. And so when I said earlier about making sure you get there in time, besides transportation, you have to keep in mind that they're going to weight yourself to ensure that you don't over exceed the limit.
Mhm.
And they will ask you for documentation. You have to sign a waiver. The sibling it was definitely quite secure. I enjoyed every minute that I was there, but they're still gonna make you sign that waiver just in case anything
Yes.
happens to you. Hopefully not, but that's the process that you have to do before doing anything there. So that's
Mhm.
also one thing you have to keep in mind, that you have to arrive early before the scheduled time that they assign you or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
And they offer different activities in each country, and you can pick and choose, or
you can pick and choose, honestly. And even once you get there, like let's say you don't, because there was, what was it, oh, Curacao, I didn't reserve anything. I just went there and I said whatever they offer me, I will see. If I like it, I'll choose it. If not, then I will just keep walking around and see what Curacao has to offer.
yeah.
So, because they do, you're gonna get greeted with a lot of people with
Mhm.
signs. So there's some of them that have like portfolios, like, look, I can take you here, I can take you there, I can take you there.
They're waiting for you already.
Yeah, you have to know how to bargain, because there was some guy who was like, oh, I will take you and your family, $20. And my sister was like, no. She kept walking. And there was another guy who was like, oh, I'll take you for 15. I'm like, okay, I'll go with this guy. 15 per person, because it was like an hour drive or something.
Yeah.
So I'm talking US dollars, because
Mhm.
they do take US dollars.
Yes. The
Uh,
life stopped because my phone overheated and it said the temperature is too high. I don't know how that happened.
Oh, yeah, I do see.
It says emergency temperature needs to go down. Okay.
Oh,
Oh, it's okay.
um,
We're still
the
here.
the nightclub. Yes, that's another thing. It was actually quite packed. It's not that big as a normal nightclubs when you go locally in your area, so it's quite small. They basically had a round table, the bartender in the middle, and you can order the drinks.
Mhm.
And the dancing stage, it was quite small, so I didn't even go into dancing. I was just kind of like dancing with my family outside the stage near the bar area because it
Yeah.
was very full. So yeah, but yeah, the nightclub is there every night. I believe it's to 1, 2 o'clock. That's what I've been told. I never stood that late. I was too tired.
Mhm. And
But
do
yeah,
they charge or that's also free?
oh, that's also free. You can go there. The only thing they charge is the drink. That's about it.
Okay.
But you can go there dancing and have some fun.
Do they play a variety of music or is
Yeah, most
mostly
well, I
American?
guess because it's a big. It starts from Puerto Rico, and there was a lot of Boricuas there. Mostly it was reggaeton they played there,
Nice.
but I think they did also a little bit of bachata, some hip hop and things like that.
So it's better to take a cruise out of Puerto Rico because of the food is gonna be amazing, and then the music is also gonna be Latin music.
Yeah.
Cool.
There was one night, I can't remember what date exactly, but another thing, oh, I forgot to mention, another activity they do have is karaoke, and that I loved it.
Mm.
One of my cousin was able to participate, and I lost my voice screaming for her. I was like, yes, go girl. And um mostly, obviously in cruise you'll see a lot of people, Asians, Europeans, Americans, they're all from all over the world you're gonna see. But like there were so many Boricuas that most of the that did karaoke was Spanish songs, and there was
Mm.
few that still did English song and stuff like that. There was this couple of guys. They were, oh my god, they were hilarious. They were singing some merengue, and they were like dancing over there, and people were like laughing, clapping, enjoying. It was totally fun.
Nice.
Phone
How was
service.
phone service on the boat?
Sorry.
A great question.
Yeah, that is a good question. You don't get on your personal phone service. You don't get any phone service at all. You actually have to purchase internet data, kind of like in the airport. It is a bit expensive, in my opinion. I can't remember how much but um, mostly when you go on the islands, you're gonna see a lot of Wi-Fi, like free Wi-Fi wherever you go, especially in the port. So
Mhm.
if you feel like you need to contact someone, you can just hang out because that's mostly what people did. I
Like came out
remember,
of the boat into the island and
yeah,
just use the Wi-Fi.
yeah, they were like just hanging out there, and I remember I was laughing about it because I was telling my cousin, I want to go and explore. Like I don't want to hang out, surf the web. Like I will take picture, and then once I get home, I will upload it. But yeah,
Yeah.
but also there's a lot of I met a lot of people in there that they have traveled that same route many times, so they're just there to hang out, I guess, have fun in the cruise.
Yeah.
And once they got off the boat, they just find a place where they have free Wi-Fi and just hang out in there. Most of the ports, little souvenir stores,
Mhm.
they sell beer as well, and they're like for $5. Sometimes they do two for $5, and so people just buy beer and serve the web. That's mostly what I
Nice.
saw while I was over there.
And what did you do in Aruba?
In Aruba, that was, yeah, after St. Kitts, we went to Aruba. And Aruba, I went, oh, that's a submarine. Yeah, I almost forgot. I
Mhm.
took that was pretty neat. That one I did reserve it through the cruise line.
Mhm.
So, what was the name again? I had to write it down because I forgot. It was Atlantis Submarine Aruba. That's the name. And it's only like about 7-minute walk from the port. So I just basically, when I got out of the boat, I went in to walk to their place, and they basically told me, okay, just follow me. They take you, it looks kind of like a canal or something, like a little river, but it's more like a canal. And they have this a little boat where you go in there, and obviously a group of people as well. I believe they can fit up to 50 people. So it was a bit of a large group, and they took us to where the submarine is, like deep in the ocean. Like we were
Wow.
far from the cruise. So
Uh-huh.
they take you in, and then there's also already another boat. So the other boat is picking up the people that are leaving from the submarine. So
Mhm.
after they go out, then you go in. And
Mm.
it was pretty nice experience. When you start, going down, and you are able to see, you have the way the seats guard, they're like there's seats here, so you're looking at this window, and then there's seat here, so people are looking to this side of the window.
Mhm.
And so you get your own little circle window, so you can start seeing. And at first things, you barely see anything because you're just still nearly in the top. So once you
Uh-huh.
start heading down, the lowest that we got, I believe it was 130 or 135 feet below water.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you get to see a lot of coral. There were boats that I was told that some of them sank, and some of them were intentionally sank so they can have like something to see, which
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought it was
yeah, yeah.
funny.
Because then
Yeah.
the fish will come and like marine life will come and like you could see something.
You do,
Did your
Lissandra
ears
asked if it
pop
popped. Um,
underwater?
for me, it didn't, but I did feel a little bit pressure. So you just kind of, I don't know if you ever been scuba diving. What you do is you just hold your nose and then kind of like blow, so you feel that pressure push out, and it does help. Yeah, but I didn't hear it pop. It just mainly felt a little bit of pressure, but
Okay.
nothing too disturbing.
That must
Yeah.
have been quite an experience.
It was, especially when I kept looking, I kept looking at the window, but at the same time, I kept looking at they had a little digital sign that tells you how low are you. So I was telling my cousin, like, we're still going down. Why we're still going?
Can you bring your phones to take video and pictures and things
Yes,
like that? Okay.
yes. I took picture. No, I didn't took video. It was mostly picture. Yeah, but you can take your camera and everything.
Good.
Yeah.
And then you went to Curacao after that. And
Yep.
what did you do there?
In Curacao, that's where I said I didn't book anything, so I just went there. Curacao, they have this bridge. They call it. They had a name on it, but I was calling it the dancing bridge because it basically is floating. So when you walk, you kind of like have to walk like this, so you don't lose your balance.
Uh-huh.
And then after you crosses the bridge, then you're actually in Curacao. And once I arrived there, I was, like same as San Kids, you get greeted with a lot of people like, oh, I have, I can take you this place, this place, this place. So I took a tour that they take you to their brewery. Curacao make their own
Mm.
alcohol, and oh my God, it's good. Like, I think I had it here somewhere. Here it is. I bought their alcoholado. Oh my God, this place is amazing. It smells really good. This is like their brand. It's called Glacial,
Uh-huh.
Alcoholado Glacial. And so the same alcohol they use to, like, alcohol for drinking, their liquor, they
Uh-huh.
make alcoholado, alcohol, they make Vicks, like vapor Vicks. And when you get to the tour, they first take you where they make the alcohol.
Mm.
So there's this tour guide. He's telling you first the history of how everything started, and then they show you like how they make it, the machinery that they use to make the alcohol. And then lastly, they take you to this table where you get to try, they give you like little shots
Oh,
of
like
the
a
alcohol.
tasting?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. And it's a variety, and it's kind of like they have like this tamarindo, chocolate, they had mainly is orange. Like their alcohol is mainly like a citrus flavor.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they also made different other flavors that you get to try. And they have a lot more, but they only allowed us three. And the tour lady, she was like, because a lot of people were only taking from different tours group, they were taking just one. And she was like, no, take one, eh, drink it, and then take the same one again, hold it, take the second one, drink it, then take the second one again,
And
and then
hold it.
mix it with the first one. Yeah, she was telling us that. And then grab the third one, try it out alone, and then grab it again, the third one, and then mix it all together. So that once you mix it, then take it. So you can have like a different mixture of taste, like a
It's like a fourth flavor of three
yeah.
together.
Yeah,
Wow.
and it tasted really good. I liked it. Um, you after the tour, that tour, they take you to their gift shop, where you can. That's where I bought the alcoholado. I bought Vicks. I bought something else I can't remember right now. Oh, hand sanitizer, because they make their own hand sanitizer,
Mm-hmm.
and you get to also buy their liquor if you wanted to. They have different size. They have like travel size. They have the big ones, up to you
Mm-hmm.
what you want to buy. After
Nice.
after that, they took us to this hill. I can't remember the name of it. I was able to take a picture because in that hill it has like a giant stone that says "I love Curacao," and a lot of people stop there to take a picture. And from that hill, you can actually see the beach area where the cruise, they are stationed right there. So you get to see kind of like scenery as well, area where you can take a good picture.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, it took us to, I think it's called Mao Beach. Mambo Beach. I'm sorry, Mambo Beach.
Mm-hmm.
And there, Curacao has other beach, and I was told that there's other beach that is beautiful as well. But Mambo Beach is a very popular area because they have everything. They have a playground, like a floating playground in the beach for the
That sounds
children.
fun.
Yeah, they have that. They have rental shares that you can rent, an umbrella as well. They have option for renting the jet ski if you want to, try that out. And if you're feeling hungry while you're, swimming over there, they have restaurants, a lot of restaurants options. They even have a kind of like a shopping mall where you can buy souvenirs and stuff like that. So they have like everything in there. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why it's one of the popular areas. And they have a lot of iguanas. Yes, that's for sure. In the beach, you get to see that a lot. So after that, after the beach, then the tour guide, they basically take you back to the port, where either you can check out something else, or go back to the cruise. In my case, I was already feeling tired after Mambo
Uh-huh.
Beach, so I just went back to the cruise.
So you have to be ready for anything when you come out of that boat because you don't know where you're gonna end up. If
If
you're
you don't
gonna go
make
to
any,
a beach, if you're gonna go.
yeah, if you don't make any reservation, then I will still take a swimsuit with you, because you don't know if I personally didn't know that the tour guide was going to take me to the beach. And it wasn't until like I got into the bus that were like, okay, we're going to the brewery, we're going to go to the beach. Like I knew the
Uh-huh.
brewery part because I was mainly interested about that. And they were like, oh, we're going to take you to Mambo Beach. There were some people that they didn't stay, they just got out of the bus and checked out, walked around a little bit, because they give you like 15 minutes for you
Mm-hmm.
to walk around, look at the beach and stuff, and then come back to the bus. And then if you want to stay, then you tell them, no, I want to stay, and they will pick you up like in 2 hours. So you have two
Okay,
hours to do whatever you want at the beach.
that's nice
Yeah,
because they give you enough time for you to relax too, even though you're out in the island.
yeah, yes.
Mm-hmm. And
And
then after that, you went to San Martin.
yes, lastly was San Martin. And as you know, San Martin is divided. They have the Dutch side and the French side. And I also didn't make any reservation. My sister was the one who quickly found someone. And I usually let my sister choose because unlike me, when I go, I can't bargain. I'm really bad at it. And I'm like, I usually ask them like, what you have to offer? And they're like, oh, well, this is what I have for this price. My sister was like, no, no, no. I want to go this place, this place, this place. How much you going to charge me for that?
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
hustle. You gotta hustle.
Yeah. So she was the one who found a tour guide that he took us because at first he wanted to take us just to I'm really bad with names, to was the beach that name where the airplanes they have the
I know exactly which one you're talking about. That is by
uh,
the airport, and you could see the plane coming above you. I can't
yeah.
remember the name, but I know what you're talking about.
um well, I can't I thought I wrote it down, but oh yeah, I did. Mao Beach. Yeah.
How do you
So
spell it?
Maho. That one is on the Dutch side.
Mm-hmm.
So he wanted to take us just there. But on the French side, they have a nudist beach. The It's called Orient Bay Beach.
Orient Bay.
Yeah, Orient,
Huh?
Orient.
Mm-hmm.
And that one is very popular because it is a nudist beach.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not comfortable with the nudity, that's okay because the beach is actually divided.
Mm.
When I went there, like I said, I went there after Hurricane Irma, Hurricane Maria had basically devastated the island. So what I was told is they had this wooden wall that divided the nudist side for the non-nudist side.
Mm-hmm.
And so that wall got destroyed. So when we went there, there was basically no one at the beach. It was basically empty, and they were still trying to rebuild everything back again.
Mm-hmm.
But the guy told us that like if we ever go back again, that if you don't feel comfortable with the nudist side, then you can just stay on the one that's not nudist. And
Mm-hmm.
in that section they do have restaurant, so even regardless, if you are in the nudist side, they do had some like como kiosquito, you can have some food, some snacks, so
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to like put your clothes back in. You can just go and get your thing, whatever you want. But if you do want to go,
Interesting.
yeah, if you do want to go to the restaurant, you do have to put your clothes because they
Yeah.
have like signs that strictly says that if you're stepping out of that section, you have to wear your clothes.
Clothes.
And also children's are not allowed, so you have to be 18 and over to be on that side.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Very
yeah, but
cool.
sadly when I went, everything was still, it
Which
was
side do you like the most, the Dutch or the French?
I feel like the Dutch had more things to do. At least to what I experienced. I could be wrong,
Mm-hmm.
because we didn't get to experience much on the French side. The tour guide, he was like, "Well, the most popular area or the most popular thing to do in the franchise is the Orient Bay Beach, but because of Hurricane Irma and Maria, the whole place is basically destroyed." So
Mm-hmm.
it was empty. There was nobody over there. So he just took us to like talk about it and how it is before the hurricane happened, and so we can see how the beach is and stuff like that. And then
Mm-hmm.
after that he took us to Mao Beach, where that was pretty lively. There was a lot of people. They do have a section where they have musicians playing music, so you're listening to music while you're swimming. And
Oh, and the water is warm, I'm assuming.
yes, yes, it is
Okay.
quite warm. The sand is white, white, white.
Oh,
Is
Lord.
awesome. And the interesting thing is that next to the beach, where the musicians were, they have also stores where you can buy things. They do have what's it called, bañarios, so you can take a quick shower to rinse off the sand and then change clothes. And they also had a pool. Which I thought was interesting. I was like, I guess if you don't want salt water, you can just swim in the pool.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing to keep in mind, because that they had signs everywhere. because the airplanes pass very, very low. Because basically the airport's right there and the beach is right there. So
Mm-hmm.
when the airplane take off, you really feel that pressure. Like I
Uh-oh.
tried to get close, but I was scared because their signs clearly says don't
Do
get
not
close.
get close.
But people were still getting close, and you could. I'm laughing now because I'm remembering, like, you could see people like rolling in the sand, like their hats falling away, like they lost it because it went to the ocean. And
That is so funny.
yeah, really. And like people, usually leave your sandals somewhere in the sand, so the sand cover all their
Cover all the
shoes, so people were like trying to dig up their
find, even remember where they left.
yeah. But it is very important not to make sure not to get too close, because I was told that was in 2008. So I was told, I don't even remember if it was 2017 or 2016, that a girl died because
I heard of it. Mhm.
she got too close to the fence, and the pressure of the airplane pushed her. And there's the airplane and there's the beach, but there's a road right there.
Mhm.
So you know how the roads, they have like this block of like a piece of rock and cemento así,
Mhm.
and the edge of the road. So when I was told that the pressure pushed her, she hit her
Hit
head
herself. Mhm.
y se
Yeah,
murió a
I
cantazo.
saw that. I saw that in the news.
Yeah,
Como en la calzada, ahí está, and that's how they call it in the R, la
oh,
calzada,
calzada,
which is
okay.
like the piece of
Cemento,
cement that is
ajá.
like como un alzadito así in between the street and the beach.
But yeah, so that's how what they had. They still have it there, so people were still trying to get close, and even though there was
Mhm.
like signs saying "don't get close," so I
Living
was
a dangerous life, right?
yeah, because even I didn't get close, but I got in the way because I was like, let's say the airflow was this way and I was like standing right here, so I just walked this way but still close to the water, and I felt the pressure. Like that's how big it is. But most people like enjoy their airplanes like going down because they like go very low.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
imagine.
yeah. I
What
had a
was
good
your
time.
favorite part of the whole trip?
That's a tough question because I like Hmm. I think I loved my favorite island, to be honest, was Curacao. I want to go again, but I want to go directly instead of going through cruise,
Mhm.
because Curacao has a flamingo park where
Oh,
you can, if you're a nature lover as myself, you can go and see a bunch of flamingos that I was told that they have a lot.
mhm.
And they have this gorgeous resorts, but I'm assuming they're like quite expensive. But sometimes we want to go big, go hard. So
Yeah, we
I
work
want to
hard, so
try.
might as well.
Yeah,
We
I
have a
would definitely.
NASCAR.
Yeah, definitely want to try that out because I just passed by when I was in the tour bus, and they look beautiful. They look beautiful. I definitely want to
Mhm.
go there. And one thing of Curacao, that if you go there, even if it's with a cruise or directly, the tour lady, she told us that on Friday after 5 p.m. is what did they call it? I'm not much of a drinker, but it's basically like they have all the pubs, bars there are packed on Friday, because
Mm.
apparently they have like very discounted or like a sale or offer on
Mhm.
Friday nights. So, and because Friday nights usually the day that people leave from work, so they have the weekend off. So
Mhm.
the pubs and bars, they are packed. So that's
Wow.
what I was told. And
So
because
it's
we
a lot of
went,
fun, probably.
yeah, they do have a very vibrant nightlife, to what I was told.
Mhm.
The day we went there, I remember that one. It was actually it was on a Friday. We went on a Friday, but the cruise left at 6 p.m. So we had to be there before that. And
Yes.
the tour leader, she was like, I wish you guys could stay, a little bit longer because the fun starts after 5 p.m. Yeah.
If the boat leaves you, then there is not gonna be fun anymore.
Yeah. 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 I definitely enjoyed going ziplining in St. Kitts. I went to their fortress as well. If you like history, you can go to their fortress. It's about, I believe, a 20-minute drive from the port. Um, I think the only place I actually got to eat in the island was in St. Kitts. I didn't get to eat in any other island because mainly what I did, like even in Aruba, after I did the submarine, I went to the boat, I went to the buffet area, I had my food, and then I went back out.
Oh,
And yeah,
okay.
I
So
met
it
my
doesn't take too much of a time to go in and out of the boat.
Yeah, well, depends on where is your activity. Because, like I said, the submarine was right there. It was like a 7-minute walk from the port.
Oh.
So once the submarine tour finished, they take you back where they met you, and from there I walked to the cruise, and I had my lunch, and then I went back out, and then I met my family, and we took a I guess like a cab or taxi locally, and he took us to a beach. What was the name of the beach? I had to wrote it down. Arashi Beach. The sand is very white, and Aruba is very, very far in the south or in the West Indies. So it was excruciating hot, at least for me. It was like
Mm,
a 97 degree Fahrenheit.
wow. That sounds
Yeah,
like heaven to me. I love the
really.
heat.
I like heat, but not too much. I feel
I
like,
was in Egypt in 116 degrees
oof,
and I
no,
loved it.
really. Oh, I could do. Yeah, but that's where I lost my phone. Not that I lost it; it died on me because we went to the beach, Arashi Beach, and oh my God, it was so amazing. The sand is kind of like once you get. Have you ever seen those type of kinet sand that you can mold it? It
Mhm.
felt kind of like that, the sand, and it's very white. So we're enjoying ourselves at the beach, and then my sister, my cousin, they basically started playing in the sand. And I had a pocketbook, I had my phone inside, and I had put it in the sand because they had umbrella, but they didn't really much have share or anything. So I had to put my bag on the sand. And after the guy let us stay there for about 2 hours, I believe. So after we finished, I grabbed my pocketbook, and the first thing I did was open it, put my hand just to make sure my phone is still there. I closed her and I moved on. It wasn't until I reached my room in the cruise that I pulled out my phone and the battery was swollen. The phone overheated. And I was so sad because I had photos in there. Because I had my camera, but I also had photos in my phone as well, and my phone got damaged. Yeah, I was upset about that one. Yeah, but
Well, now we know. Do not leave your phones in exposed heat like that. Maybe put it
yeah,
under the towel or something. I don't know.
yeah. But activities in the boat, my most favorite was the karaoke. I really enjoyed that one. The ice skating show was really nice. The stand-up comedy was hilarious. I left there crying because I laughed too hard. It was really funny. But mostly it was mostly my karaoke. I did go mini golfing. I tried the ping pong table.
Mhm.
um I didn't do I like sports but not so much. But the basketball court was pretty full most of the time. Oh, they do have, I almost forgot, they do have rock climbing. I wanted to do that, but every time I went it was always packed. And for
Ah,
those type of activity, you kind of like either have to go early and wait your turn. because if you leave and then you come back thinking that, oh, there are going to be less people, probably not. It's always going to be packed. So I
Yeah.
never got the chance to do the rock climbing in the cruise. It was always packed.
And how are the pools in the cruise and things like that? Did you
Yeah,
go?
the pool. Yes, yes. They have it in the deck. They have all different sizes for adults and children's as well. And another thing is that every night they have movie night. So they have this enormous screen or enormous TV where they play a movie, and you can chill at the pool or sitting on the chair and watch the movie.
That is so
And they
cool.
do have also,
You will have a
yeah, they
blast
do.
if you go to a cruise then, because they have so much.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I say, like, when it comes to cruise, the trip is what you make it to be. For me, I made it adventurous, but there were people there there were people that were in the honeymoons. There were a family that was celebrating their daughter's quinceañera in there. There
Mhm.
were a couple that they were retired, and they told me that they didn't go out of the cruise because they already visited the island so many times, but they just still go cruising just because they like navigating the ocean. And they just basically chill at the tables, because every deck, at the top decks, they have those type of beach chair that you can
Mhm.
lean back and relax and look at the sky, watch the oceans and stuff like that.
Mhm. Wow.
My uncle was the one. I don't know, but he says that very early in the morning, he was able to see dolphins in the water. So I don't know. He was the only one in my family was able to wake up that early in the morning to see that.
Yes.
He's like, he came in because he was in the room with his wife and two other people, and they told me that they were like tired because they were doing so many activities, and they were trying to sleep, and it was like 7:30 in the morning, and he came in rushing into the room like, oh, mira delfine, mira delfine. They were like, okay, just let us sleep, like, we're tired.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so the trip, it is what you make it. You want to do
Yeah.
a romantic getaway, you want to do relaxing, because they do have sauna. I did try it out, the sauna. It was pretty
Mm.
nice. um, they do have a gym, so if you want to make sure that you don't get the chichos while with all the you can eat buffet, you have a gym. I believe the gym is free. I'm not sure.
Mhm.
I'll have to check on that, but I can't remember.
Do they have areas that are for adults only, or
The
everything is children friendly?
the nightclub is adult only. The casino is adult only. I think somebody asked
Also, they
earlier.
have a casino. Okay.
Yeah, they do have a casino. There's certain bars there are kind of like como si fuera kiosquito. They don't have a sitting. You just order it and go. But there's also areas where bars, they have like dining table and everything. Those areas are only for adults. They don't allow children in it.
Do they
But the
have
good
pools that are only for adults?
they do, and they always gonna have the guards keeping an eye to make sure, because some pools are quite deep for children. Yeah,
Got it.
and let's see what else.
No, I asked because I would love to go on a cruise, but I don't want to be surrounded by little kids.
Oh,
Usually, you want to get away from that when you travel.
no,
So,
no, it's understandable. And the good thing is, like, if you have children with you and you want to, like, just one night for you and yourself or you and your partner, they do have daycare.
oh, that's
Yeah,
nice.
I don't know if there's a fee for that. I'm not sure, but I did saw that there's a daycare. You can go in and they will take care of your children. They have, like, like how usually daycares are. They have the little play thingies for this to entertain those children while you go out, and have fun by yourself
That is
and stuff
nice.
like
And
that.
do they have separate smoking area and non-smoking area, or is it completely non-smoking?
I believe the non-smoking area on the top deck, because they don't allow any smoking at all within any deck. So the smoking area is only on the top deck, and it's only a certain area to what I saw. Yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah. And let's see what else. Oh, so every night there's, like I mentioned earlier, there is one night where it's kind of like fancy night. And that's the night that if you want a professional picture, you have to be there early because the line gets really crazy. Like I tell you, this boat can hold over 3,000 people. So there's 3,000 people all well dressed waiting to get a professional picture. And
Yes.
so if you want a good one, because they have different areas, not just one area that has a picture. It's different area, different background. Sometimes, oh, like the one that you posted on the ad, that one is like the actual cruise. So they do have area where they take professional, even though the picture wasn't professional, it was my sister who took it. But
Yeah, but it looks really nice.
yeah, so because they have how to explain it, because there's stairs, and then they had this como que una vuelta así, and that's the area where they were taking picture. So my sister was like, stand a little bit next to them, but not like, no, don't bomb their picture. So so I will take your picture there. And that's what a lot of people were doing, because the picture can be a bit expensive. I think it was like $20 to $25.
Ooh.
So, but the thing is that you can take as many as you want, but you only pay for the ones that you want to keep. So you,
Okay.
yeah.
At
So
least you
that's
get to see what you look like, and then you're like, okay, I like it or not.
yes, yes. And you have to do that. You're gonna pay for your pictures, make sure you do that. Um, at least the el penúltimo día, like the day before the last day, because on the last day people are just mainly concerned of getting out, out of the boat. And it's very hard that you might not be able to find someone that where you can a personnel where you can buy your pictures. So they will announce it. They will announce it. They will tell you,
Yeah.
okay, you have until this time to get your pictures. And what they do is they have this room, and they have podiums with a lot of pictures of everybody's pictures in there. So you just kind of have to go through like a library, go look which one is your picture, and then you hold it with you after you have all your pictures, because doesn't mean like all your pictures are going to be together. They're going to be separate, because I believe they're divided by section, because like I said, every picture that have available for you to take is in different areas of the cruise. So I believe that every podium is a different section. So if you took one picture there, your picture might be here, the other picture might be on the other side. So you just kind of have to go through all of them and find yours. And you can, hold the copy with you, and then look at them, and then you decide which one you want to keep. The ones that you don't want to keep, you just put it back on the podium, and then the one you want to buy, you go to them and you tell them which one you want. I believe they have different sizes, but mostly it's just the 8x11. And most people, like, at least what we did is I bought like one or two, and then I just make copy of those ones separate
Of
when I went
course.
to
Do
Walmart.
they give you the option of having a USB, or is just the physical copy?
I believe the physical copy. That's a good one. I think they had the option like a CD. It was mostly, I believe it was a CD or something like that.
Okay.
I can't remember, but I personally just got the the physical copy. And then because in the picture my cousins were there, so I told her like I'll buy one and then I'll make a copy at Walmart, which is cheaper, and they'll give you the copy like that. Yeah, yeah.
Very,
So
very cool. Did you guys
yeah.
have any questions about cruising, about any of the islands that she stayed? Well, you got off at.
Yeah. Oh, in
I
the fence.
definitely want to go to Curacao, and San Martin is definitely on my list. So,
Yeah.
that's
The
something
week
that
that
I
I
can do.
went, it was Halloween. So one of the events that they had at nighttime was kind of like the best costume contest.
Oh,
And there was, oh my, yeah,
I like that.
I don't know if you've ever seen, yeah, I don't know if you've seen the show, the La Casa del Papel. That is on Netflix.
No,
Like,
I haven't, but I've
in
heard of
English,
it.
they call it Money Heist.
Yes, I've heard of it. Yes.
Yeah, that, oh my god, that show is amazing. So there was a whole group, they dressed as the cast of La Casa de Papel. I was so blown, like I wanted to take picture with them, but there were so many people trying to take picture with them, so I was like, oh, I don't get a chance.
Oh.
But yeah, in the concurso, the people that won was a couple that she dressed as Beauty and he dressed as the Beast.
Ah.
And let me tell you something, they must be those type of people that they they do that for a living. They do that because he, like, she was beautiful, beautiful yellow dress, like, the Beauty and the Beast, and she had her hair done, the makeup and everything. But he, oh my god, his costume was so real. Like it looked like real hair all over his face, like the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. I was like, no wonder
Wow.
they won. Like it was amazing. I got to they make
Custom
you,
made, custom made costumes they have probably.
yeah,
Like not that, not
either
but.
somebody, yeah, either somebody made it for them or they made it themselves, but it was amazing because it looked so real, the costume. And so the cool thing about this event, that even if you're not competing, they allow you for you to do the little catwalk. So my family and I, we got to walk, and they have cameras, which I later found out because in your room you get a little TV where you can watch, TV show and whatever. And later that night, I saw myself on TV, and I was like screaming. I opened the door and I was like calling my sister, like, "We're on TV! We're on TV!" By the time she
So they have
came,
like their own channel where they post the things that are
yeah, they
happening on the
dance.
boat.
Yeah. So they
That's
had, because
so funny.
I knew they had camera, because while I was walking, the lady, she was like, okay, now you go, now you. So I was walking, I dressed up as a warrior, like a medieval warrior. So I was like all painted black in here. I had a hood, I had a fake sword and everything. So
Now, did you come prepared to dress up like that, or you bought the items there?
no, I can't prepare. I can't prepare.
Okay.
Yeah. Because they do, when you book the cruise, they do let you know that they do have a Halloween party. I did not know about that contest, but I knew that there was going to be a Halloween party.
Got it. Okay.
And so everybody had costume. They also have they pull out the photographers for taking professional picture with your costume if you want to buy those. We went to dinner, we went to the restaurant with our costume, and I had to, like, because like I told you, I was painted black and I had a mask and everything, so I had to like pull up my mask. And it was so funny because when the our waitress, she was like, you want us to take a picture? And we're like, yeah, sure, take us a picture. Like, you can barely see me because I'm all black, dressed in black.
Oh my God.
And it was, oh, but it was amazing. I think like that was the best way of cruising through Halloween, because it was an amazing Halloween
And then because
party.
it's cooler here,
Yeah.
you get to enjoy the heat in those countries, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
you're escaping the cold weather, technically.
Yeah, it was nice. And in the fancy night, they had lobster. And it is all you can eat in the restaurant, but for specifically that night, they kind of limit it because, who doesn't want to eat a lobster for free?
5 lobsters, 6.
Yeah,
Until you get sick and can't eat no more.
yeah. And I'm a type of person that I love mariscos, shrimp,
Mm.
cangrejo, lobster. I eat all that. So, that night they said lobster. I had shrimps,
Yeah.
cocktails. I got everything.
So that cruise was how long?
7 days.
7 days
Yes.
for $500, including food.
Yeah,
That is
including all you can eat food.
insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
And actually, I
That
even with
Lisandra wrote, when we going? And Radaisi said, as soon as the ports open.
yeah. And like And that's just Royal Caribbean because, like I mentioned earlier, Carnival is a little bit cheaper. And while I was, going down memory lane, remembering everything, I was like, let me check how much our cruise is right now. I was able to found for 5-day cruising through Carnival, it was like 229 starting price,
Mm.
229 through Carnival, just 5 days. So I was
Wow.
like, I was amazed.
I
I was
heard
like, what?
carnivals are like the party cruises. Like people
I
go crazy in there.
That's what I heard also. I never traveled through Carnival,
Is
but that's what I
Corona
heard.
included? No, she say alcohol is not included. You have to pay
No,
separately. Now,
yeah.
did you speak to anyone on how they were able to sneak in alcohol? Because I know people do.
Well, at least to
Ah,
what I was told, because
Corona
in Curas,
is the virus, not the actual beer.
uh, no, but at least in like in Curacao, because like I mentioned, Curacao makes their own liquor, so a lot of people were buying their liquor and bringing it into the cruise. I don't think there was any problem to what I saw people that were, able. I believe they do still have to report it,
Mm,
that you bought that as well, because even in the cruise they have liquor for you to sell that you can take to your home. But I guess there are like restrictions are similar like in the airport that you can take it, but as well you have to report it when you buy it. Those duty free stores,
yeah, uh-huh.
it is duty free. So yeah, but I don't think anybody, at least that I heard, had any problem.
Yes. How much was the flight to Puerto Rico during that time of the year?
Mm,
Because if you have to calculate the whole cost, or if you
yeah.
want to stay extra days in Puerto Rico and then go,
Yes, because to what I was told, people do take um, early flight into Puerto Rico just because that first day where everybody's going into the cruise, some people just stay around an area, like they will go to El Muelle and look around at the port in San Juan before going into the cruise. The flight, I can't remember. I want to say like going and coming back, like over 200 something that time, 2018.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
The cheapest one that I was able to get was before the coronavirus, actually. I paid like, I think it was like 50 something dollars. That was extremely cheap. I saw that. I think it was
That was
you who
so
posted it
sweet.
through
Yeah, I post
Frontier.
so many things. I don't even
I
remember
think,
what I post.
yeah, I think it was you who posted. And I was like, yeah, because I needed to go to Puerto Rico, and I saw that, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta get the ticket now because I'm afraid that if I click out, it will be gone.
So the
That was
cruise
the cheapest.
itself, or you say the flight that you clicked on the link that I posted.
No, that one was a flight.
Oh,
That
the flight. Okay.
recently, before the
For the
coronavirus
corona.
thing came
Okay.
on. Yeah, and for the cruise, it was in 2018. So I think it was the flight coming and going
Mm-hmm.
was like around 200 something. I can't
Yes.
remember right
Well, I'm
recently.
glad someone is using the links that I'm posting. I've heard a couple of people, they
Yeah.
have both flights to Barcelona, to Madrid, and now you were telling me to Puerto Rico, so I'm glad
Yeah.
people are using it at least. So I'll post more now.
Yeah, because I fly Frontier airline before, but I forgot about them because normally you use like at least when flying internationally you use JetBlue, American Airlines, those big fancy airlines, and Frontier Airlines much of a smaller airline. So when I saw that, I was like, yeah, I remember they do have cheaper flights. The only
Yeah.
thing is like you had to pay everything separate, but yeah. Let's see. I hope I didn't miss anything.
I mean,
Oh,
everything was great. Lisandra said, thank you so much, ladies. It was great, very informative. You covered so much. Thank you so much.
I'm glad you enjoyed
Daisy
it.
said, yeah. Now I feel like, why haven't I been in a cruise before? I need to
my
make it happen.
my family and I, we were planning for this year, but because of the situation, we had to kind of like postpone it because we were debating either to go, because there is a cruise line that you can take from Florida to Mexico. And that one is also 7 days, but unlike the Caribbean, where you get to go multiple places, multiple countries, that one is just Florida and Mexico. That's it. And the other days, you're in the ocean. So mainly, most of the activity is going to be on the boat.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would
And if
prefer activities that you get out to the countries.
Yeah, 'cause you
I
get to
personally
explore
would.
and stuff.
Mhm.
Especially like I mentioned, the only thing historic that I did was in St. Kitts, where I got to visit the fortress,
Mhm.
and you get to see like how the colonizers used to live there, work there, how the slaves used to live there.
Mhm.
You get to, they even had like furniture where you could see how the infirmary used to look like back in the day. And every room in the fortress has, like a large panel with all the information that you can read on about the history.
That is nice.
And because the fortress is on a hill, from the hill you can see the view of the ocean, and the city of St. Kitts, which is Bassett.
Very cool. Do you
Yeah.
guys have any questions before she leaves us? So I want to make sure we get all the questions answered.
Yeah, I wrote everything because I was like, make sure I don't forget. Um,
Yes,
and one thing, like, I don't know if you're the type of person, because I know you mentioned that you never cruised before, if you're the type of person that get easily dizzy when navigating boat,
I
because
don't.
navigating the airplane is not the same thing as the
Well,
boat.
I've gone on boats,
Uh-huh.
but not necessarily on a cruise.
Okay, okay.
So, but I
Yeah.
personally, I don't get sick. I know people who
Okay.
get really sick.
Yeah, I
So
didn't get sick, but I felt kind of dizzy. And there was one night, it was Thursday. Yeah, because we went from Aruba, and then it was ocean, and then Curacao.
mhm.
So, and Thursday morning, I woke up and I was laying down in bed holding like this. I was like, oh, can somebody please stop moving the bed? And my cousin was like, no, the boat is like shaking. Because
Oh
on one
no.
thing also is even though that in the Caribbean is warmer, it does tend to rain. So that day it was raining. So there was a bit of a storm, and even the captain announced it that the boat is gonna be a bit rocky because of the storm. So you kind of like had to walk like this all the way,
Oh
and I did feel
wow.
a little bit dizzy, but nothing major like feeling nauseous or anything like that.
Hmm. So what did you take for that? Dramamine?
Well, I didn't take anything. I was just
Oh,
going
okay.
rocking along with the boat.
What I try to do is like an hour before I go into water, I take a Dramamine. So this way, if I were to ever feel dizzy, that avoids it.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
But luckily I've
What
prevented
is it
it.
called again?
Dramamine.
Dramamine. Okay.
Hmm.
All
Yes,
right,
it's
I'll keep
for.
that in mind. Because I have traveled and boat, but it's been so long that when I took the cruise, I was like, I'll be fine. My sister warned me. She was like, it's gonna get a bit
Yeah.
rocky. Are you gonna be okay? I was like, yeah, I'll be fine. And I was fine through, Monday to Tuesday. That because of the storm, the boat was like a bit rocky, and I was like, oh my god, it felt more like a headache. Like I just kept going like
Mm,
this. Uh, but after a while
yeah.
I got used to it, because once you start walking, like you can't even walk normal. You're like walking sideways like that, so you
Yeah.
can kind of used to it. A
Well,
lot of people were
Vanessa,
saying don't fight it, just rock
just
along
go
with
with the flow.
it.
If it takes you to the left, go to the left.
Yes, yes.
That's so cool. Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Vanessa, so much for giving us all of this info about going into cruises and having a great time and maximizing your time while there. Um, I really thank you for saying yes. I know a little you were a little resistant and nervous, and I'm like, no, you can do it. Come on, we want to learn. So I'm glad that you said yes and that you actually came, because this is important information for us to get ready and prepare. to,
Yeah.
oh, one last question. To
Mhm.
book the cruises, did you go directly through the cruise line? And how did you know to pick that specific cruise?
Did it with my sister, so we were looking directly through the cruise lines, because we were mostly looking into what islands it was gonna take us. Because for me it was my first time, but for my sister she already traveled multiple times, so she didn't want to go to the same place. She
Mhm.
wanted to have a new experience. So, and also we were looking, keeping an eye on the budget as well, so we were keeping on the budget but as well experience. We wanted, mostly like people who already traveled in the cruise wanted to try something new instead of going to the same islands again.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
But there is, I believe, there is some websites that you can try. Um, I believe one, it was something about Go Caribbean or something like that. I will have to Google it. Those are websites that are mainly for cruise lines. Sorry, I live near a train. uh, oh,
While you look for that, guys, tomorrow we have another episode. It's going to be our episode 31. And the topic of tomorrow is going to be Indochina, la fuerza de la identidad. Indochina is comprised of three countries, Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos.
oh
So
wow.
tomorrow the presenter is going to be introducing us to those three countries all at once. And he is in the fashion industry. So he's going to talk about identity, fabrics, and how culture shapes countries. So I'm really looking forward for tomorrow. It's gonna be at 5 Eastern Pacific time, 8 Eastern time. So it's gonna be a little bit later than normal to give you time to
Mhm.
do whatever you have to do and then sit down, relax, get a glass of wine, and join us tomorrow at 8.
That's cool.
Yes.
The website
Oh,
is
and it's in Spanish.
in
So
Spanish. Oh, I could speak Spanish as well, but like my Spanish is more like Spanglish. Yeah. Oh, and that's another thing. Thank you for saying that, because on like in St. Kitts, they mainly speak English. They do have, there's a lot of Hispanics, mostly from South America, that live and work in the port. So like, don't be afraid to like ask, you speak Spanish? Okay, because some of them, they are Hispanic that live
nice.
and work there. But in St. Kitts, the mainly is English. In Aruba is it was papimiento or something like that. I forgot. And Dutch. They speak Dutch. In Curacao, yeah, it's called papiamento. That's the language. Papiamento
Mm.
and Dutch in Aruba. And Curacao, they speak English, Dutch, and papiamento as well. And San Martin, well, the French side, they speak French, and English as well. And some of them, they do speak Dutch, because even though they're divided, people, they go back and forward, so they kind of like have to learn the language.
So they're like trilingual kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. So, but you like for Spanish, you shouldn't have any problem, because there's a lot of Latinos in almost every island,
Mhm.
that work and live there.
Yes. Well, thank you again so
Thank you.
much for
I'm honored to be
coming. And I hope to continue seeing you.
here.
You're one of the most active members in the group.
Oh, thank you.
So
Thank you.
thank you for your support. And I
Thank
hope I
you.
can continue contributing also to your guys' journeys in traveling the world.
Yes, yeah. I enjoy watching all of your stories. It motivates me to, go try somewhere, place news. And especially, like I think it was, I can't remember what, this past couple of days, there was one, it was in the Middle East. So
Oh yeah.
like,
The one teaching in the Middle East, Kuwait.
Yeah, and like for me, I was amazed, and the one in also in South Africa, I was
Oh
amazed by
yeah.
that
With
one, because
Freddy.
yeah,
Yeah.
because like we're like we only know what we see in through media. So like when we hear this experience through other people, we're like, oh wow. So it's not like, well, what we thought or what we saw on the media. And it definitely want to try it out.
Definitely, yes. And when you go, let me know. I want to see where
Yes.
you went and what you did.
I still consider myself a newbie. I haven't traveled much in much places. I've been to India, I've been to Canada, I've been to all the places in the Caribbean, and that's about it. I was planning for this year to go to Greece, but thank you, coronavirus.
2021 is
Yes,
gonna be
yes.
our year.
Like I was even talking to my husband the other day because his parents live in Dominica, which is an island in the Caribbean.
Mhm.
And I was like, if we can't go to Europe because apparently it's not safe yet, let's go to Dominica because like I feel like I need to get out.
Yeah, let's go visit
Yeah,
the parents. As long as you're healthy and you don't bring it there.
yeah, yes, that's for sure.
Yes.
All
Well,
right.
thank you again. Mwah. Have a beautiful
Thank
day.
you. Hope
And
everyone enjoyed it.
definitely. Adios.